Good morning. It's drizzling in my area. I came to the neighborhood park, and I do have a message for everyone. You know, some of you watching my channel may think that I talk too much, post videos too often, but I can tell you it's far from being enough. So what is enough? How frequent? How many videos should I upload? I would consider as enough. I will consider my uploading my channels, updating enough only when people who are influenced by false teachings like Joseph Prince begin to seriously consider. Then I would say it's enough. But the fact is, I know it will not happen in a big scale. You remember during Elijah's time, he felt he was alone, and later there was someone told him, I think it's a high rank official in Israel, he said he hit 7,000 who didn't bow to the false god Baal. 7,000. When I was reading that account, I felt 7,000. What is that compared with, millions others? 7,000 sounds very insignificant. But how I feel now is, even just one or two who are listening and have some time to spare to post an encouraging comment in my channel, to me that is more than enough. But to the millions who are still following false teachings, it's not enough, guys. So when I make a sweeping statement like, no other people is doing what I'm doing, of course I'm trying to bring across a message to everyone. And I know very well that there are people who are seeking truth and who are perhaps wondering, how to discern, how to be sure who is a false teacher, who is not. And I just pray, others who, once they come to their senses, they have the motive, they have the zeal, they have the fire in them to come on YouTube, stand up against these false teachers. These are false teachers, right? They look big, they look convincing, they look, they're powerful, but nothing is able to stand in front of truth. Again, we remember the story of Elijah. Elijah was alone, really alone. But he was not defeated. Why? Because the truth, the God of Israel was with him. So that's a test, guys. That's a test we need to pass for ourselves. Are we truly following the Lord God? Or are we still afraid of men? There are moments, I'm thinking of quitting also, because what I'm doing now is not bringing any immediate benefit to my kids or family. And posting thinking over. It can be quite taxing actually. There was a period I drive Grab part-time besides my full-time job. I thought that was more manageable than running a YouTube channel because I was quite able to get through the day with enough energy to accomplish my task in my workplace. But running this YouTube channel, of course, this human flesh, my flesh, wanting to see the channel to grow, that's one part. There's this consistent urge to see what is progressing, what is a progress. That urge I need to overcome. That's one thing. But another thing is, to publish, to prepare a message that is right, sound, and I pray pleasing to God, is something constantly in my mind. So what I'm saying is, sometimes become a challenge, become a burden to run such a channel. And interestingly enough, I noticed my subscribers is just about 7,000. Yeah, 7,000 among tens of millions or maybe hundreds of millions who are following the false teachers. So guys, if you feel what I feel, even one message is enough to brighten my day. Yesterday I saw a brother from America. He was asking me, am I a pastor or preacher or just a well-educated guy? And he said he liked my video. Yeah, those kind of remark bring me some encouragement, make me to move on, go on in this fight. And so my message is, even though I make sweeping statements saying, I'm the only one doing this, but I know people like Joe John, people like some brothers I noticed on my channel, I know there are always people. God always have a few elect, maybe in Paul's term, a few elect who will not bow down to the culture, to the God of the day, and seeking truth. Yeah, just to let you know that I'm aware. I know that there are other believers who are watching, who are with me, and this channel probably will remain this size more or less for the time to come. Yeah, thank you for following. And the benefit of coming out on YouTube, they're manifold. I was quite a lazy guy before this, but these days it's just so natural for me to get up early and take a walk and ponder what I'm doing. When I make those statements about Joseph Prince being a false teacher and Tithe being a scam, it's only when I made those statements public, I began to seriously think, am I doing the right thing? That's the time I really search and pray. As I say, maybe there's still a chance, I'm just doing it out of selfish reasons, to make myself a small name, or to claw back, that amount of money from Joseph Prince or New Creation Church. But I have to tell you that I began to see more and more clearly that the mission I'm in, I will not regret exposing the current day false teachers so directly, so openly on YouTube, and also to challenge believers to reconsider their positions on this teaching of giving of one salary, 10% of one salary to the church, consistently, month after month, year after year. I challenge every Christian, every church leader to consider their position on this, because I can see how this tithing system is affecting all peoples. It's affecting unbelievers. It's affecting seekers from sincerely coming to Christ. It's affecting the relationship between church leaders and their members. It's affecting the trust between members, and especially it's affecting the poor within the community, and it's affecting the name of God also. You know, the name of God is being mocked because of this tithing. And guys, this giving of 10% of someone's salary to a church consistently for life, I can tell you its implications is just too wide, too deep for us to ignore. And I have to speak up against, because you see, something about truth is, once we see that, we cannot unsee that. Once we see the truth, we cannot unsee that. It's just like once we agree with Isaac Newton that there is this gravitational force, it's not possible to go back to the ignorance. And it's also so easy to spot wrong statements which don't consider the presence of gravitational force in all scientific research or paper. So that is what is happening to me when it comes to money, when it comes to this teaching of tithe or tithing in the church. Once it's become clear that to me tithing is not right, not according to the Bible, not according to God, not according to our conscience, or it's really a scam, guys, to put it simply. And I have to voice up. Yeah, that's what I want to share. Of course, my sharing, I cannot just become a babbler of such statements. I will share with you guys how I read the Bible, how I get truth, get encouragement from the Bible, and how I apply. I don't know whether that's a right word, apply. Apply means like apply some principles or truth, but I guess that's correct also. How I apply, how I walk with, I pray that God consider my walk as a walk with Him, for Him. How I walk with my kids in this short life on this earth. And if you hear what I'm saying, and you notice what I'm doing in my channel, and you agree with me, or you have some concern for the poor saints, for the salvation of unbelievers, for the truth to be declared, for the name of God to be respected, and if you see what I'm saying, what I'm doing as worthy, as godly, as holy, I welcome you to subscribe and follow me. And also, again, I said, if you sincerely believe that I'm in error, I'm doing something not right, I welcome you to point it out. Last night Joe John called me. Of course he didn't call me just to clarify that he was also strongly opposing Joseph Prince, but he mentioned something like when we make a statement, we should consider to speak the full truth. I appreciate that. I appreciate such a warnings or such a instruction, or sharing from believers, actually from anyone, even some unbelievers. If you guys think that what I'm doing is something not acceptable to the common man's reasoning, or to the culture, or even against the law of the land. I will really appreciate if you can point out. As I said, right now I'm alone. No church leaders, no church is with me. No one is yet to even recognize what I'm doing. The message is spreading too slow. That's how I feel. It's not fast enough. And I don't know how I can make this channel more effective. That's my sharing this morning. It's drizzling, so my temper is a bit, chill, not as on fire or zealous as some other times. Thanks for listening, and God bless you. Have a good day.